What happens when a group of paranormal investigators start a conversation? You get Ghosts of the Coast Paranormal, the podcast. Tales of the dead, the bizarre, and all things supernatural. Join us now as we get into the Simpsons predictions. Ooh. Hi, and welcome back to Ghosts of the Coast Paranormal, the podcast. I'm Erin.
I'm Linnea.
And Deborah, we miss you, girl. We miss you.
We
We're ready for
do.
you to come back to the show. But yeah,
Feels off balance, right?
it
It's like you
does.
wait to hear. You wait to hear. And I'm Deborah.
Yeah. Soon though. She'll be back soon, I promise y'all. Um Holiday times are busy for everybody. So but you ready for Thanksgiving?
I don't know. I mean, I have all this stuff, but I don't know if I'm actually ready to start cooking and cleaning and
Yeah.
preparing for all them people. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, I cook every year, but it seems like every year the crowd that comes to my house gets smaller and smaller and smaller, which is fine. I understand that people grow up, your siblings get older. but
But then you just start inviting new people.
yeah, so yeah, I'm ready to cook. I love cooking Thanksgiving. I love hosting. I was probably like a what are those? I was probably in a past life. I was probably like a big like everybody came to my house because I love hosting. I love cooking and having people over, entertaining people. Um, but yeah, I got everything ready to go. I have to clean my house. Thankfully I'm off
hmm
Wednesday, so I have to clean my house. It's a mess right now.
I feel you.
So but yeah, I'm ready. And when you guys are listening to it, we will have just passed Thanksgiving because we record the week prior, every week prior on Mondays. So, but yes,
And we hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
yes, we do. We hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, had all the turkey, the ham, everything. And especially if you're in the South, you had the collards, you had the dressing, you had the biscuits, all the good stuff. Because I know that's what we'll be
I'm in
having.
the South and I'm not having any of that.
My mom told me today, she goes, my collards will be here tomorrow. And I said, great.
Nope.
She said, I already picked up the ham hock and a potato. I said,
I
awesome.
make a mixture of the menu that I had growing up,
Which
which would be in the
was?
north. Just turkey, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, the candy jams, pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
And then we started adding in over the years for Gianna doesn't like turkey or mashed potatoes, so then came ham and macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
But then when I was a teenager, I spent a lot of holidays with my friend's family, and she's Puerto Rican, so I started picking up some like other tids and bits for holidays from them too. So now I just
Yeah.
kind of have a collaboration, but my menu stays the same. It just kind of grows over the years.
Yeah. I'll be making sausage dip. I make sausage dip every year. And my spicy ranch crackers. So
Okay.
those are good. And then I don't do
Oh,
pies.
I'm
Like,
making the onion dip.
are you?
Yeah. Shout out to private investigation number one.
Yes, that onion dip was banging. Oh my
It's
gosh.
delicious. I made it once since then.
I I will be I typically I volunteer everybody to bring stuff. So like I'll be making the ham and the turkey, and then I'll be making the sweet potato casserole and the mashed potatoes, and then I have some succotash and stuff. And then everybody else is bringing dishes. So my mom
I get
always
off on the turkey because we deep fry that outside, so that's not a me
oh,
problem.
See, I
We've
cook
done that
mine.
since the kids were babies.
Yeah, but no, I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for the food. I
You
love.
ready to put your stretchy pants on?
Girl, I already got them on. I already got them on right now, ready. Oh Lord. Those of you who are listening and you are in the Horry County area, I know we have a lot of followers in Conway, Loris, um, all around Horry County, really. We will be in several parades this Christmas
Yeah.
season. We will be in the Loris Christmas Parade, which is December 1st at 7, I believe.
Mm. Yep.
And then we will be in the Tabor City Parade on the 7th at 5.
Are we doing Merle's Inlet?
And we're doing Merle's Inlet on the 3rd.
That's the 3rd.
Yep. So, and we have tons of candy. I ordered 3 5-pound bags of candy.
Wow.
Yeah, so they should be here
Yeah, when I'm
Friday.
out, I'll try to see if I can grab some too.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited about that. So y'all, if y'all see us out and about in these parades, y'all wave at us and follow us on Facebook and all of that good stuff. And Linnea turned into a ghost. She disappeared. So I'm going to entertain y'all for a minute.
Hello. Golden Doodle's trying to get in the cat box. That's what
Oh,
he's doing.
jeez.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
Yeah. So, well, are you ready to jump into this episode? I know I am. This is a very fascinating thing for me.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing this one for a while, so
Yeah.
I'm excited. Let's see where it takes us.
Yeah. And then next week we get to start, when we record next week, we get to start Christmas stuff.
Now, do we have a topic for next week?
I think it's Deborah's week next week on the
It
rotation.
is.
But we might jump around a little bit.
All right, all right.
So, but I have like me and Deborah have 2 topics, like, and
So I'm slacking. All right.
well, I know like you had like we had all discussed a couple topics, and I
Mm-hmm.
know the one that I really want to do, and I know the one that she really wants to do.
Okay, I
So,
can guess one of them. Not sure about the other one.
yeah,
I think we discussed it, but
starts with a K.
that one I know.
Yeah, the other one is an Icelandic.
Okay. All right. Well, do you
So
actually remember the first time you watched a Simpsons episode?
the first time I ever watched a Simpsons episode,
Mhm.
God, I was a kid, and I remember I would until I got a little bit older. The first time I ever watched a Simpsons episode, I was definitely a kid, but I remember
Mhm.
when I was like 4 or 5, and it would come on.
Oh my God, you're so young.
Uh, because it's they're on their 35th season,
Mm-hmm.
so it came out a few years before I was born.
What year were you born?
1990.
Oh, hell. So I was 10 when the show came out.
But I wasn't able like I wasn't allowed to watch it like first thing, you know.
Right.
But when I was like 6 or 7, like that's what we looked forward to because that was like before cable, so we looked forward to Sunday nights and watching The Simpsons.
So I don't know if I watched it from the very beginning, but I went back far enough that I actually remember watching it on the Tracy Ullman show with my parents because we used to watch that show.
Oh yeah.
So do you actually remember it back far enough when it was part of the Tracy Ullman show, or do you remember it when it was kind of just its own thing?
I remember when it was his own thing.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of the show, and we'll talk a little bit about the predictions and kind of see where we go from there.
Cool.
So, The Simpsons were created in 1987 by Matt Groening, and the show originally appeared, as I said, it was a much shorter cartoon skit, basically, that played during the Tracy Ullman Show, which was a variety show on the Fox network. Over time, the show became popular and expanded to a half-an-hour show. The Simpsons separated from the Tracy Ullman Show and premiered a Christmas special on December 17th, 1989.
Yeah.
And then they began regularly airing as their own standalone show in January of 1990, which is crazy.
And now they're the longest running animated show in television history.
Yeah, it's the longest running animated primetime show in U.S. history, and it's now also broadcast in many different languages as well. So, you know how many seasons there are? Do you know about how many episodes there are? What
I
would you
want
guess?
to. I want to say there's like 20, between 20 and 30 episodes per season. So multiply that by 35.
Are you doing math?
No, I'm just saying the explanation.
All right, all right. So, as of October 1st, 2023, there are 751
Yeah.
episodes. So it takes place in the fictional city of Springfield, which has kind of been like an ongoing joke over the years because people have always tried to figure out which Springfield it is. And I kind of even remember watching too and being like, wait, are they dropping a hint right now? Like, is it in this state? Is it in this state? I don't think it actually has a state. It's just supposed to be
It
fictional.
doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And they'll actually
Uh,
say on the TV show too. They're like, it's Springfield somewhere,
dot.
USA.
Leave it
Yeah.
to your imagination.
Yeah.
Matt Groening himself has described the Simpson family as creatures of consumption and envy, laziness and opportunity, stubbornness and redemption, just like the rest of us, only exaggerated. And he certainly did create a town of very odd characters that have entertained us over the years. Do you have a favorite character?
I definitely like Comic Book Man. I don't know. I like a lot of the characters. Dr. Nick is like that one when he comes in, he's like, "Hello everybody." Duff Man's good. I like the singular characters that pop in every so often,
Yeah.
but they, they have those iconic lines.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know if I have a favorite. Like you said, there's so many to choose from. Um, And over the years, the show has had a ton of celebrity guest stars. Some of those celebs are Phil Hartman, Meryl Streep, Daniel Radcliffe, aka Harry Potter, Glenn Close, Alec Baldwin, Julia Louis Dreyfus, Johnny Cash, Dustin Hoffman, Bob Hope, James Woods, Conan O'Brien, Kiefer Sutherland, Cyndi Lauper, and Mick Jagger, just to name a few. So it's not
Very
too
few.
shabby. Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
So I tried to Google a little bit about Simpsons predictions and how it all started, but I wasn't really finding much like that. It was just like a bunch of different sites saying, 10 predictions the Simpsons had, 20
Yeah.
predictions the Simpsons had. So I just tried going through those and putting them in order the best I could.
Right.
I also Googled different questions along lines of how could the Simpsons predict future events, and the only thing that really came up with something from this site that's collider.com. So they say the Simpsons predictions are often exaggerated, satirical critiques of society's stupidity, not accurate forecast of the future. The Simpsons predictions it shows the show's ability to seem predictive stems from its clever reference to pop culture and existing events rather than clairvoyance. And they're basically saying that history repeats itself, and that's how they can do that. That doesn't make sense to me because if history repeats itself, where are they pulling like when they said Trump was going to be president? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's not history repeating anything. Um, so what do you think about that? What do you kind of think on the
I think,
predictions?
well, a lot of these predictions came like several years. And I think that Matt Groening has a window to the other side.
Yeah, but you have to wonder how much of it he actually came with. No, I mean,
Well,
there's
I think
writers.
I've either read or watched something before where he was talking about that, and he said sometimes he just has dreams, and that's what he'll write into the show.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not come across that. Interesting.
yeah. I can't remember when. It was several years ago. Um, I think it was kind of during the whole like big explosion of the Mandela effect.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, it was just one giant rabbit hole. So, uh, yeah, I think he said. I think I read that he said sometimes he just dreams just stuff and he writes it into the show.
I'm gonna have to look that back up. That's
Yeah.
interesting. So I have a bunch of them to kind of go over. Obviously, it's probably not all of them with 750 something episodes. Good, good luck getting all of them, but here's some to start with.
Cool.
So the first one is The Three-Eyed Fish, which is season 2, episode 4 from 1990. Blinky is an essential part of some of the best Simpsons episodes. The three-eyed fish is supposed to be a funny reminder of the horrid effects Burns' nuclear plant has on the town, mutating flora and fauna like Blinky, a practice that is widely accepted or ignored by the residents. It turns out Blinky has a real-life counterpart. Over a decade ago, Argentinian fishermen caught a three-eyed wolffish in a reservoir near a nuclear plant. Sound familiar? A ZME report quotes one of the fishermen who recounts their surprise at finding this rare specimen. No mention of Mr. Burns' counterpart is in the article, though.
Good old
Um,
Blinky.
Blinky. What should I say? Doesn't say what year, though, the three-eyed fish came up. So that one, I don't know if that's really a prediction. That could just be, I mean,
Yeah,
hopefully
that
they'll
could
put it
go
enough.
here or
Hmm.
there.
So I don't know. My vote on that one is not, it's not really a prediction. I mean, yes, it happened, but
Yeah.
that one kind of goes along with the whole we were destroying the planet and they were making jokes about it and we are doing it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, you think about it, that was season 2, so that was 1990. So the environmental movement started, it's definitely wasn't as strong as it is today, but it was starting then. So there was a lot of like save the trees type
Yeah,
deal. And so I think I think that one could just be like going along with the current trend of the environmental movement.
agreed.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2. Censor and Michelangelo's David, Season 2, Episode 9, 1990. Marge learns a hard lesson about censorship when a slippery slope leads Springfield's residents calling for the censorship of Michelangelo's David. Classic work of art is hilariously covered up with a pair of jeans in an effort to make it more acceptable for the outraged community that won't tolerate nudity. Back in 2016, a copy of the statue on display in St. Petersburg sparked controversy and promoted a vote from citizens who wanted it to be covered up or removed. And just this year, a school in Florida's decision to deem the statue as too pornographic to show to kids has prompted the mayor of Florence, Italy, to extend an invitation to the principal to steal the statue for herself. So, what do you think of that one?
Um I think there's too much censorship going on right now anyway.
Has there been an episode yet with the books being banned? I'm sure.
No, but actually I think there has. But there's also a whole movie about that too. So
Well, I think there's more than one.
yeah. No, it's there's too much censorship going on right now. It's kind of ridiculous. But I don't know if that was, I mean, they probably just, what season was that?
That is season 2, also
Okay,
episode.
so
We're
1990.
still 1990, and then
Um,
saying so with the controversy itself was in 2016.
so I mean, it could have been something as simple. I mean, the statue itself is downright like out there.
That's all the statues in Italy, though. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot of penis in Italy. Like,
right.
there's really just penis everywhere. There is.
But I mean, that one could go either way too. That one could have just been like a making
I agree.
fun, either that or they read 1984. I
Touche.
mean, so that's what I think on that one.
Yep. So nothing, really going in the world of prediction yet.
No,
All
no,
right.
no, not
We
yet.
got Siegfried and Roy Tiger Attack, Season 2, Episode 18, 1991. Mr. Burns decides to build a casino in Springfield with Vegas references abounding. One such was Gunter and Ernest, a clear Siegfried and Roy analog whose act ends in tragedy when their white tiger, Anastasia, attacks them. Though this one is a bit more understandable given the dangers of working with wild animals, Roy Horn was also attacked 10 years after the episode aired.
Hmm. See that one. I
Now when you
don't.
start kind of thinking of it, you're like, oh man, that was on The Simpsons.
Yeah, like that one is interesting, but again, it could go either way because if you keep an animal, I'm not one to
I
say
get
like
what you're saying, but had they ever had any other attacks before? Like if
I
they've
don't
had
think so.
attacks, it's one thing, but I mean, if that was the first and only time,
Right.
you might question,
Yeah, that's
especially if
true.
that actually did come to him in a dream. I mean, that would be
True.
crazy.
True.
I would, yeah, I'd like to know more about that.
Yeah. Matt Groening, if you're listening,
Uh,
we want to know how you
Hashtag,
came up with that.
hashtag him, please.
I will.
Um, so this is from the same episode. So again, this is season 2, episode 18, 1991. The Beatles sended belated fan mail. In the second season, Marge Simpson reveals in high school she sent celebrity crush Ringo Starr a painting. After decades pass, Ringo finally sends back a response, fulfilling a vow to return all fan mail. The prediction seemed to pass between the living Beatles, as in 2013, two women from Essex received a reply from Sir Paul McCartney after sending him a mixtape 50 years earlier.
Could
What do you
could you
think about that one?
imagine? Could you imagine being like older and like possibly being that would be like me like 70 years from now getting a letter of the fan mail that I sent to the Spice Girls.
50 years. That's great. Like what did like he just get does he start getting Alzheimer and he thought he was still in the business? He started whipping out boxes? Like how does that even happen so
He's
many
like,
years later?
"Oh, look at that mail.
That's crazy.
Let's get that." Yeah.
But that one's a
I'm
little funny too as a coincidence to happen. I mean, that's kind of
yeah.
an odd coincidence.
Well, I'm still waiting on my fan mail response from the Spice Girls.
What year was that?
97?
Oh, maybe hashtag them out there too.
Like, "Hey, Spice Girls, did you ever get my picture that I drew of me being a Spice Girl with you?"
Oh, hang on. All right. So I don't do Roman numerals. I should have looked this up earlier. The initial airing of, okay, so this one's season 3, episode 14, 1992, Super Bowl prediction.
Ah,
Okay, so these ones I find a little bit more interesting, I think.
yeah, yeah.
The initial airing of the football centric episode came only a few days before Super Bowl, where Lisa correctly predicted the Washington Redskins would win. The next year, the staff decided to dub in the names of that year's competing teams, and they were once again correct with their call of the Dallas Cowboys as victors. The redubbins continued with moderate success over the next few years, finishing with another accurate prediction of the San Francisco 49ers over the San Diego Chargers. So what do you think about those? I think that's a little bit more interesting. That's a little bit kind of back to the
Yeah.
future. And they got the gambling book and they're
They're like, "Okay, I gotta remember next year I gotta place X amount on this team."
wait. What if come on,
Alright?
shots up. What if they're not predictions, but somebody from the future coming back and then writing it?
Oh. So is Matt Groening from the future?
Could be. Could be.
Matt Groening, if you're a time traveler, let us know. Um, oh, but then hold on. Okay, hold on though. But then also if you time travel, you're not supposed to influence the past because that can change the whole timeline up.
Yeah, but if you don't think you are because it's a cartoon that's supposed to be funny,
Yeah, but you're getting the word
nobody
out
ever
there.
questioned if he was from the future, just whether they were actual predictions.
Huh.
So if that was the intention, I mean, he really did a good job throwing everybody off then, right?
Watch, The Simpsons will be canceled now because he's like, I gotta go back. I gotta go back to the future now. They
Wild.
Ghost of the Coast found me out. Oh god.
Sorry. All
Um
right.
yeah. Or hold on. Hold on a second.
What you got?
What if, because for a while there, like for a long while there, wasn't the Super Bowl on Fox?
Could be. I don't do sports. Couldn't really tell you.
Because I think, what if they were, they say that these games, these NFL games are rigged. And that's
Okay.
just educational purposes only. We do not mean anything by this.
No
Speculation.
accusations here.
But they
So
say,
the whole thing was a Fox conspiracy?
yeah, what if it was a Fox conspiracy to increase betting limits to get more money in their pocket?
I can't see large teams of men throwing stuff. Men are pretty competitive. Imagine being the team that you're being told has to throw the game.
I don't know. There was the whole inflate gate. Tom Brady. Oh god. Anyway.
All right, let's jump over to season 3, episode 24, 1992, Baby Translator. In one of the rare episodes featuring Homer's half brother, voiced by Danny DeVito, he manages to invent a never before seen device that could make him wealthy beyond his wildest imagination. His brother creates a baby translator, which is able to decode precisely what babies babble and mean. Today, there are quite a few baby translator equivalents on the App Store. Apps like Cry Translator, Baby Talk Translator, and Zoundream are able to approximate what an infant's cry may mean. They're not quite as sophisticated, but there's no doubt the inventor would be proud of his innovation's far-reaching influence. One, I did not know that was a thing.
A
That's like
baby
our Spirit
translator?
Box app. They have baby translator apps. That's
Hold
crazy.
on, let me look at that.
So look up Cry Translator or Baby Talk Translator.
Cry
I want to know what kind of ratings those have.
4.3.
Can you see what are the reviews? What any of the reviews kind of say? Like I totally know what my baby's saying.
All right, so this is called Baby Translator and Cry Analyzer. It's 4.3. Let's look at the reviews. See all reviews. Okay, so 5 stars. Baby Translator and Cry Analyzer is such a great application for children and parents. It provides advanced algorithm. It's easy to use. This is interesting and a game changer for parents.
We're gonna need to borrow somebody's baby. Deborah, we're gonna need the grandbaby.
Just for 5 minutes.
Something out.
And we need you to bring the baby over here so we can listen to it cry. Oh god. This app, 5 stars. This app uses advanced algorithms and state-of-the-art technology to analyze your baby's cry and provide helpful insight into their specific needs. It blew me away with how accurate and reliable the app was in identifying various cries and associating them with different meanings. It takes the guesswork out of parenting and empowers you to respond appropriately to your baby's unique needs. Now, that being said, I would like to read a 1-star review. Let's see.
So the first ones were paid reviews.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. 1-star review. Translated screaming like baby's life depended on it into I'm having fun. Absolutely useless. Another 1-star. Newborn baby clearly distressed, has gas. This app interpreted it as, I want to go for a run. What? Absolute garbage. Don't waste your time.
Well, and as far as prediction, like, obviously apps are a new thing. In 1992, we weren't all rolling around with loaded
Nope.
up iPhones.
Some
So, I mean, this could be like the inventors were sitting stoned watching The Simpsons, and they're like,
they're like,
"That's a
oh
great
yeah,
idea. Let's do that."
we need to jump on that real quick.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with not a prediction on that one.
Not a prediction.
All right. Season 4, Episode 6, 1992. Bloody Billboard. In line with the gory nature of the show within a show, a billboard advertising Itchy and Scratchy's first movie featured Scratchy getting his head cut off and spurting a blood-like liquid into unsuspecting open cars. TVNZ used the same effect to promote Kill Bill Volume 1 in 2008, spattering the pavement with remnants from Beatrix Kiddo's last kill. What year was Kill Bill? Oh, 2008. So again, is that a prediction or somebody ripping off The Simpsons?
Probably somebody ripping it off because they're like, oh, you know what? Itchy and Scratchy did this. Let's do it for Kill Bill. I mean, that's saying that one particular is far fetched is it as a prediction. It's pretty far fetched. So,
all right. Season 4, Episode 8, 1992. Suing an all-you-can-eat restaurant, which suing restaurants now is just a thing in general. Homer's hunger is cartoonishly insatiable, so much that in one episode he gets kicked out of a seafood restaurant after pursuing an all-you-can-eat deal, only to sue for false advertising. This legal theory was tested in courts in 2012 and 2017. Ironically enough, the latter even happened in Springfield, Massachusetts.
That's funny.
So what do you think about suing of the restaurants?
For a false advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's crazy now.
Everybody's getting sued right now for false advertising.
Yeah.
Right? Half of the restaurants, like, not enough meat or sandwiches
Yeah.
as big as it looks on commercials.
Well, and then also on commercials, they add, like, if you, like, cereal commercials, instead of, like, adding actual milk, they add glue so that the cereal just sits on. Yeah, it's not actual food that's in the commercials. Like, they add glue for the milk, and then they sit the cereal nicely on top.
Ew.
Yeah. Or like
I mean, I
cheese.
guess you don't want cereal getting soggy, but
Like the pizza commercials.
yeah.
They get that really good cheese pool. It's not a real cheese pool. It's like glue with like some kind of additive in there to make it stretch really good.
Basically, anybody with a commercial could be sued.
Right. Well, like, I mean, everybody, like McDonald's, they didn't warn a lady that her coffee was hot.
Coffee was hot, and that's ridiculous. Like, I mean, this is all just more in line with we are a sue happy society. We sue over everything.
Right.
Everything. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. It's anything to make a buck. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even in all you can eat restaurants now, they're like, if you order and don't finish what's on your plate, you will be charged for that leftovers.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, again, though, this also falls in line with somebody could have just been watching The Simpsons and got the idea, like, well, crap, this restaurant's doing that. Like, I'm going to sue them.
Yeah.
Like, this could just be a lot of people just getting ideas from the show.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, but you can't really.
Some of them coming up a little bit different.
Yeah, like the sports ones, you can't, like, a regular person can't just be like, you know what? Simpsons said that the Washington Redskins were going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to make that happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are generally a couple of these that make you think.
Yeah, for sure.
So next one is season 4, episode 20, 1993, Whackin' Day.
Oh, that was a good one.
This holiday, which involves killing as many snakes as possible, slithered its way into the real world. The Python Challenge is an annual event where people wade into the Florida Everglades to thin the population of invasive Burmese pythons, whose Overpopulation endangers the diverse native ecosystem.
Yeah, that was probably just something that was bound to happen. I don't think that one was a prediction.
Who would want to do that?
There's a lot of people out there that'll hunt they'll hunt the pythons or the nutria and stuff, which down there in
Who
Florida.
wants to go into an area that is infested with pythons? Period.
Florida people are built different. Florida folks are different. They
But I mean, that's like saying, like, Aaron, let's get our group together and go down to Socastee and we'll go fight some. Let's get the alligators. Like, there's way too many of those down here. Let's go start thinning the numbers out.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
no.
good.
Yeah, I'm not going out there. I'm not going in the Everglades. You can forget about that. First of all, I don't do bugs.
Mm.
So my ass is not going into the Everglades.
I don't
Second of
like bugs,
all,
but I don't like snakes and alligators even worse.
second of all, knowing that there's an alligator below my feet, I am not stepping foot in those waters on a boat or anything.
Mm. No, and I've swam in the ICW, but that's a story for another day.
Well, I've swam in the Waccamaw, but I mean,
Your face. All
but
right, so let's move into this one. So this one, ready? Season 4, episode 21, 1993. A pandemic. In 1993, The Simpsons first aired the episode Marge in Chains. The episode focused on Marge, charged with shoplifting and forced to serve prison time. The rest of Springfield caught in the Osaka flu after a shipment of products reached Springfield. Osaka flu caused a similar pandemic as the COVID-19 pandemic. The Osaka flu originated from a different country before it made its way to the US. In addition, the episode didn't have a treatment immediately available, and the doctor of the episode recommended that the patients got some bed rest, similar to how scientists were still testing out their vaccine to prevent the COVID-19 virus.
good old Dr. Hibbert.
Now, I don't think for that one, like, I don't think I ever thought in my lifetime I would see a pandemic. Like, that thing really
Yeah.
freaked me out. Like, when it first all started, like, that was something I didn't think we would ever see in our lifetime like that.
Right. Like, well, like Robert and I, like when it first happened, I remember like when it was the weirdest thing because I went to I started hearing about it, and then the week that week when like they had like the first like several cases in the United States, I had gone out and done like an outreach program. I was out doing like around like hundreds of people. And then like the following week I was doing a story time for the last time or that last time there, and I had asked the parents. I told the parents, I said, "No, listen, I don't know what's going to happen, but if we close, because of everything going on, if we close, we might be able to continue doing story time online and whatnot." And then we closed.
Right.
And that was like within like 2 days we closed to the public, and that was it. And Robert and I, like, I started doing grocery pickups, and he had texted me, like, I had done a grocery pickup earlier that week, and then he's like, "Look, you might want to do another one because they're about to shut everything down."
Well, not only that, oh my God, do you remember how hard it was to get toilet paper?
Oh my God.
Like,
Well, and people were
you
like,
can't find toilet paper for weeks.
people were freaking out. Like,
Yeah, because they didn't know what was going to happen. They didn't know if the grocery stores
yeah.
were going to be open, if we were going to be able to leave our houses.
So
Listen, I had some toilet paper.
Yeah.
I had some toilet paper.
So in a span of a week, I think I did like 3 grocery pickups. And anytime that I was out and about, like I always made sure that I had full tank of gas. But I did like 3 grocery pickups. Like we didn't have to leave the house for like 2 months.
Oh my gosh. I just remember having to like try to drive around to like find masks, find gloves, find hand sanitizer. Like you couldn't get hand sanitizer, you couldn't buy rubbing alcohol, you couldn't get peroxide, you couldn't get anything.
No, and the crazy thing, it was like Robert and I didn't have to leave the house. Like we wouldn't have to leave the house for like a month and a half or 2 months, but anytime like we would still have to go to work. Like he and I both worked for the whole thing,
Yeah, we did too.
but we were closed to the public, but he was not. So I was like,
No,
well,
my husband wasn't either. He was working in night times in a courthouse at that time, so he was in a place where people were still kind of in and out.
yeah. So I was like, well, if he's gonna get it, if we're gonna get it, it's gonna come from him, and you know, he'll bring it home, and we'll get it. We'll get it over with. But then, but anytime I was out and I was able to stop, I would stop and make sure that they had toilet paper, and I would pick it up and bring it
Yeah.
home.
I was at a store and I saw any toilet paper, I bought at least 1 or 2 roll every single time I went. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't stockpile so people couldn't get it,
yeah,
but if I was at a store and there was toilet paper, I bought some. Like, that's
right.
so I didn't run out because
Yeah, that was crazy.
it's
Crazy times, man. COVID times are crazy.
they really were. I mean, I can't even imagine being the younger generation of kids
Oh my gosh.
that didn't know what normal school was because they were so little and they
Yeah,
couldn't go to school, you know what I mean? Like, having to do that,
yeah. Well, like
um,
my niece started kindergarten virtually.
during that time.
Yeah,
So I can't even imagine that little. What do you do? Like I
yeah,
remember Gianna had some kind of like cooking class, and she's running around my house, and they're like, "Go in your kitchen and find a ladle." I'm like, "This is school now? Really? This is school?" Like, because she wasn't like really young. I
yeah,
mean, them running around the kitchen looking for kitchen tools was like insane. I don't know what they were
yeah.
really learning.
I don't know. COVID times is crazy. But then again, that goes back to our thing of what if somebody was watching it and was like, "Oh, we're gonna make this happen." Um,
For a pandemic, though, I don't think that one. That one, I'll go with the football on that one. I'll take that one as a prediction. What about you?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'll take it as a prediction. But going off of our theory, what if?
Cheers.
What if they were like, "Hey, did you see the Simpsons predicted this? You know it's election season, right?" I
Yeah, but that
had
would have had to start over in China. So, do the Chinese love The Simpsons as much as the Americans?
New World Order, man.
I don't know.
New World Order.
So it's
Uh,
weird now because in that same episode, they actually hit two things.
hmm.
So again, season 4, episode 21, 1993, Murder Hornets. Um, in the same episode, The Simpsons predicted a pandemic. They also gave clues to another outbreak. During the episode Marge and Chains, a crowd of people demanded that they wanted a placebo to cure their illness. When one of the members of the crowd pointed at a truck that could hold the placebos, the crowd knocked the truck over, releasing a swarm of killer bees. Similar to around the same time as the COVID-19 outbreak, there were reports of the Asian giant hornet appearing in the U.S., a type of killer bee. The Asian giant hornet was claimed to be a threat to the bee population and was reported that they could destroy an entire bee colony, as mentioned by the New York Times.
Good old murder hornets. I forgot about
And
murder hornets.
and how would those two things happen back to back like that? It's not
Yeah,
even like, I mean, that's a very odd coincidence, I think.
yeah. I forgot about murder hornets.
Oh, no, I remember. I was like, everything just wants to kill me now. Everything. There's nothing that doesn't want to
It's
kill me.
over. It's the end of times. I was convinced, and I still kind of am, but I was convinced. I was like, oh, they're starting the new world order. We're gonna start seeing one world currency, one world government.
Well, I
Here it
mean, it
comes.
kind of was. It's been a downward spiral since. So, I mean,
Yeah,
really think about it.
yeah.
If you went outside tomorrow and locusts were everywhere, I don't even think I'd be surprised.
I'd be like, oh, look at there.
Oh, great.
Just another sign.
It's making me a checklist from the Book of Revelations, please. They're keeping track.
The rivers are running red.
Maybe we should make a checklist and put it on the website.
Yeah. Have you guys noticed anything other than murder hornets, plague? What else is next?
Well, let's keep going through our list here and see what we got. Season 5, episode 15, 1994, Accessible Space Travel. Deep Space Homer marked an important moment in the show's history, as aside from featuring some of The Simpsons' best guest stars, Apollo 11 astronaut Buzz Aldrin and musician James Taylor, the episode also signals the creator's willingness to go beyond the realm of possibility, or so they thought. What seemed like an unrealistic idea at the time, an ordinary man going to space, has since become a common concept, as commercial spaceflight is something people can look forward to in the not too distant future. There have even been all civilian space flights in recent years, proving that Homer's far fetched experience back then has become the reality for some people today.
Yeah.
What you think?
Do you remember back in was it like early 2000s to like 2010s when like Ashton Kutcher, Lance Bass, all those celebrities were buying
Mhm.
tickets to go to space?
Were they going to space or were they going to Mars? There was something to Mars too.
I don't remember. Oh, I think they were just going to space. I don't think they were going to Mars. But then they came
Just
out.
space, or did they have some kind of destination? They're just going up and coming down. I don't think I'd be able to do that. I think my anxiety would be through the roof,
Well,
wondering like
yeah.
what happened, what could go wrong.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, Ashton Kutcher, I think, sold his ticket because he's like, yeah, that's,
I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna keep my feet on earth.
yeah. I mean, they're working on, was it, did I read something recently that they're working on some way of colonizing Mars or something like that?
I feel like I've read something like that
Yeah.
too.
Which I mean doesn't surprise me. I mean, we're killing Earth. Why not go kill
Yeah, we
Mars?
need a backup plan.
I mean, what if we were already on Mars and we killed Mars? That's why it's like desert.
That's why it's all hot and red and bothered.
Yeah. And now we're like, we're gonna go to Mars and go back. Ugh, weird.
Oh, could be. All right, moving along. Season 5, episode 19, 1994. Serving horse meat. Never trust the food in Springfield Elementary, as a short gag showcases Lunch Lady Doris's cooking chops, or lack thereof, by revealing the way she casually adds horse meat to the kids' meals. The idea is hilarious on the small screen, but not so funny in real life. A report from The Guardian recounts the infamous horse meat scandal of 2013, which found 29% of the animal used in Tesco burgers. Millions of beef products were pulled from around Europe, and there was understandably public outcry about how the supply chain could have been compromised so horribly. So that episode was 1994, and the scandal happened in 2013. What do you think?
Um, that was only in Europe, right?
Yeah, saying that brand was in Europe. I mean, not to say it hasn't happened here. We might just not be testing our stuff as well.
Well, because I think didn't McDonald's get in trouble for that?
I don't remember hearing that. I just
Maybe
remember
not
hearing
horse meat.
things like, yeah. So fast food chains, and I think it said all of them at the time, except for Wendy's, uses basically bug protein because you're allowed to use up to a certain percentage of different proteins in the meat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, tell me it's horse meat or dead bugs, whatever. I don't want to eat any of it.
Yeah, I have heard that when places say they have, like McDonald's, for example, again, just speculation, none of it's true, all for educational purposes. Boop. Um, I've heard that when McDonald's says that they have 100% beef, uh, they actually
It
just have a,
doesn't specify what kind of beef.
it doesn't specify what kind, but it's like, but that they have a company, like the warehouse that they own that processes their meat is called 100% beef.
Oh,
Yeah. I
interesting.
don't know where I
Interesting.
heard that though. I really don't know where I heard
Really,
that.
I don't know how much I trust any other food. Do you ever watch the YouTube videos? I used to show my kids when they were small.
Yeah.
They would show like McDonald's French fries or like a McDonald's
Yeah.
burger, and then like French fries from your house or
Like
a
20
burger from
years.
your house over time lapse.
Yeah.
And the McDonald's fries were still good like six
And the
months later.
burger,
Everything
yeah.
else was like green and crumbled, and you're like, what the hell are they putting
Yeah.
in this stuff?
Although they do have some really good fries. They have I love McDonald's French fries because they're nice and salty, but it's probably super salty because they're just like plastic.
Because
But
they haven't changed the grease or anything else in 10 years.
yeah, and but their chicken nuggets are really good though too.
Yeah, not really a big.
I try
Um,
not to eat McDonald's or Burger King unless I absolutely have to.
I would eat Burger King over McDonald's. There's something that gets me about that flame broiled smell. Like I can smell a Burger King down the road.
Yeah.
Like it's something that just hits you with that smell.
I do like if given the choice between McDonald's, Burger King, Bojangles, or Taco Bell, I'm 100% choosing Bojangles every time.
Um,
Only because I used to work at a Bojangles and I know all of their food is real.
Gotcha. Well, that's good to know. Um, yeah, I don't know about the food thing because even now they're talking about, and I mean, this horse thing reminds me of this too. They're, gonna start like making a lot of our meat soon.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not down for that. I'll go
No,
vegetarian, I think, before.
I could not go vegetarian.
No?
No, it would just be too hard. I love meat too much. I
I do too, but I was vegan for 3 years.
Were you? I would start hunting for food before I went vegetarian. I can't For me, I need I can't just live
You
off of.
preparing that meat too, though? Are you
Yeah,
doing all that? You skinning animals? And
I would have to.
I got some chickens if you want practice.
We ain't there yet.
All right. I'm going to keep moving because I still got quite a little bit to go here. Season 6, Episode 8, 1994, autocorrect. This is one of the few cases when Simpsons not only made a prediction, but actively contributed to events. A quick gag has Bully Dolph write in the memo beat up Martin on his Apple Newton. The text then translates to "Eat up Martha," a clear crack at the PDA's poor handwriting recognition. Sources allege that years later, when Apple was working on the iPhone keyboard, employees knew that was the part that they had to nail. They would even quote "Eat up Martha" to each other to signal the feature's importance. So they've just said that's not a prediction
Yeah,
because they use the line from the show. So obviously,
right. Yeah, but that's
um,
funny. Autocorrect is something crazy. I think it's
oh my
got.
god, I hate
I th-
autocorrect.
I
I
think
hate
it's
it.
gotten better, at least with Android. I don't know about Apple, but with Android, it's gotten better.
I think ours just got funnier because before, if you would curse, like, it would always correct from F to D,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
duck.
yeah. What the
But
duck?
now I'll say stuff and it adds the curses in there and I wasn't cursing. Like, either my phone thinks I have such a potty mouth. Maybe if it's listening to me, I don't know, but it's automatically putting curses in my text now. Actually, one of my coworkers one time she always uses the talk to text, always. And she was messaging something to our boss and it translated into something about sex. And she called me up. She was like, holy cow. She's like, I just sent this message. And I was like, oh, you might want to call him and explain.
Bet you she doesn't use talk to text anymore.
Oh my God. No, she still does.
Oh wow.
Um, so that one actually leads into similar conversation. Season 6, episode 19, 1995, Smartwatches. In the classic season 6 episode of The Simpsons, Lisa's Wedding, there were more than a few jokes about the future tech, with only one really getting the future right. The episode showed a brief moment where Hugh talks to his watch, predicting the rise of smartwatches almost 2 decades before the first one would be introduced to the world. It's a fleeting moment that didn't mean much back then, but highlighted key tech like digital watches and voice recognition that would become commonplace today. Too bad Yu's attempts at using the technology to propose to Lisa back then didn't quite work out as well as he had hoped.
And
What
now
do you
we all have one.
I'm going to call BS. You want to know why?
Why?
Inspector Gadget.
Oh yes. Yeah,
He was way before The Simpsons and he was already on it.
he had it. And Star Trek. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna call BS on that one. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
if you look at the things like the pictures and stuff, like asking people in like the Victorian era what they think the future is going to look like, so, like people have like described like you're going to be able to communicate, like even the Jetsons, for example,
In Back to the Future, I mean, a
video
lot of the stuff.
calling and stuff like
Oh yeah,
that.
the Jetsons had all the same I mean, they're
Yeah.
basically were doing Zoom meetings, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of that is just simple guessing, like what kind of tech.
Guessing.
I mean, guessing what kind of tech is going to be out there based on the current tech.
Yeah, but I mean, back when Simpsons, I mean, Jetsons and stuff were out, there wasn't enough tech to even guess that we'd actually be able to get that far. And I mean, we
Let's
really
let's do this. Let's make a prediction right now about what type of paranormal equipment is going to happen in like 10 years. And then we'll come back to this episode.
Hmm.
I think there's going to be like an actual like like an actual device that is like a that can like actually capture a spirit and it almost turns into like a hologram in like a
Yep,
little
that's
bottle.
exactly what I was thinking. Kind of like two rods with some space in between, and you
Yeah,
can kind of see an image and talk. Yep, yep.
yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. Okay, we'll come back in
I like
10
it.
years.
Look, what is today's date?
11/20/23. So
Okay,
eleven
we said
twenty
it.
33. We'll be back.
All right, so what about this one? So this one comes from the same episode, FaceTime. Season 6, Episode 19, 1995. In 1995, in the heartwarming Simpsons episode, Lisa's Wedding, Lisa went to a fortune teller that predicted Lisa's future in 2010. Lisa's future consisted of her marrying her college sweetheart. Excited to share the news, she called her mom. The phone that Lisa dialed included a screen that showed Marge's face in real time attached to a rotary dial. While Skype was invented in 2003, it served primarily as the call-in service used on computers. In 2010, Apple announced that it's developed FaceTime for Apple users. The app allowed users to not only talk, but to see the person they were talking to through the phone's camera.
Yeah. I mean, that could go too. That could go back to
And
the Jetsons, or somebody was literally just watching it and said, "Oh, we, and got a job at Apple." Like, what if Steve Jobs was watching it and he's like, "Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Let's make this happen."
All right. Season 10, Episode 1, 1998. Selling used grease for cash. One of Homer's many get rich quick schemes involved siphoning grease from various establishments and selling it at a profit. It was a plan so prolific that entrepreneurs were using it in real life, as it was reported that thieves were stealing grease from restaurants around New York City to sell to producers of biodiesel.
That was a
Again,
big thing.
prediction
Yeah.
or idea planted.
That one could go either way, but that was a big thing because what year did you say that was?
So this was recorded in 1998, and it's saying that it happened in 2014 and 2015.
So, which is funny because I want to say like 2006 to 2000, maybe 10 or 11, there was a big thing about biodiesel and like
Mhm.
converting vehicles to
Oh,
run off of
yeah.
fryer oil.
Yeah, my husband bought a manual this thick off the internet and printed it all out on how to convert one of our cars to run on vegetable oil or something crazy. I don't think he ever read it.
No, it's
But
probably
he
still
bought it.
sitting in the corner.
Oh
Uh
my god.
yeah, I think that's probably more of a prediction because it would be kind of tough to get the idea off of, and it's kind of because in 2016 the whole biodiesel thing wasn't even a thing then. Like it was trailing out. And so I don't think if somebody's stealing stuff, I don't think that they're sitting there like watching The Simpsons be like and like comprehending like getting this idea.
Right, right.
You know.
So,
I'm going with prediction on that one. I'm going with possible prediction.
okay.
not 100% prediction.
So how about this one? Season 9, episode 3, 1998, Ebola outbreak.
Oh, I've seen
In an
this one.
episode primarily set in 1990, Marge attempted to cheer up a forlorn Bart with a reading of Curious George and the Ebola virus. Though the disease had existed before the episode, Ebola had its largest outbreak on record in 2014 and 2015, affecting more than just a curious little monkey.
That's fun. Yeah, that was the Ebola
Kind of
outbreak.
goes with the pandemic one.
It does. I mean, but also I kind of feel like it could be like them just putting stuff out there and saying, you know,
Yeah, but those are kind of specific things that I
yeah,
never really thought or expected.
yeah, this could happen, but yeah, I don't
I mean,
know.
think about like things that used to happen like before our time really were pre-vaccines and everything else. For as
Yeah,
over-vaccinated as we've all become, for these things to all start coming back out, I don't think it's like a sign of like something to predict because you would have thought we were so well protected by that point.
yeah. Well, that's true. But here's the thing too. I don't think that COVID or any of these things that's been like Ebola or anything like that is
Yeah.
the worst thing that we have seen yet. Uh,
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, and swine flu was during our lifetime, and that was a pretty big one
yeah.
in my
Well,
area because we live by.
well, now they have like the permafrost melting in like in the Arctic and stuff like that, and they're saying that they're finding diseases from like way back.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So all we need is one pissed off scientist to be like, you know what? Screw the world. Here you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it would take.
Let's see how you feel about this one. Season 10, Episode 2, 1998, The God Particle. One of the most shocking Simpsons predictions yet, the Wizard of Evergreen Terrace shows Homer's attempts at becoming an influential inventor like Thomas Edison. In a small part of the episode, Homer's seemingly nonsensical writing on a chalkboard reveals itself to be a complex math equation. Renowned British science writer Simon Singh told The Independent that Homer's final figure on the chalkboard isn't too far off from the 2012 CERN Higgs boson discovery. If you work it out, you get the mass of a Higgs. If you work it out, you get the mass of a Higgs boson that's only a bit larger than the nanomass of what a Higgs is it boson? Boson actually is. He said, it's kind of amazing as Homer makes this prediction 14 years before it was discovered. So that one I actually find pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, considering, I mean, yeah, 14 years before it was discovered and it required, I mean, there's a bunch of equations that go into it. So there's no way that Matt Groening would just guess and be like, oh, you know what? You know, and actually figuring it out. So,
Yeah, that I think that one's kind of crazy. That might be one of the most impressive ones yet, I think.
yeah, that one's cool. That one's
All right.
interesting.
So the next one is season 10, episode 5, 1998, the Walt Disney and Fox merger. Now, again, we are talking about the Fox network here, but all right. So in 1998, in the episode When You Wish Upon a Star, Homer met Alec Baldwin, voiced by Baldwin, and Kim Basinger, voiced by Basinger, and decided to work for them. Homer suggested an idea for a movie during his phone call to 20th Century Fox executives. The next scene of the episode showed that 20th Century Fox was now owned by Walt Disney. The scene is now among the infamous things that Simpsons predicted, as in March 2019, Walt Disney announced a $71 billion merger with 21st Century Fox. In 2021, Disney and Fox settled on the streaming rights in terms of the films that Disney would own. In other words, this settled what movies would be solely on Hulu, Disney Plus, or HBO Max, and the deadline for the agreement.
Wait a second. That merger was only in 2019.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it was like years ago. COVID time is different, man.
No. Wait, sorry. So it was predicted in 2019 and happened in 2021,
Oh,
right? So it says The Simpsons predicted as in March 2019. Walt Disney announced it. Wait. Where am I reading this wrong?
I don't know. Is
Even
it
now, Simpsons predicted, as in March 2019, Walt Disney announced a $71 billion merger with 21st Century. In 2021, Disney and Fox settled on the streaming rights. So it's saying that's when they settled, but it's not saying when the merger was.
probably
Oh no, so
2020?
I guess it was 2019 because the episode was in 1998.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's a really long time to make a prediction like that because
Yeah.
I'm sure no company wants to think that they're going to have to merge with another company at
Like,
some
great,
point.
the Simpsons said it was so. We must do it.
Well, I
I
don't know. I almost find that one kind of. So Disney plays all of the Simpsons, right? Like the movies
yeah,
and stuff. They have the rights to that. But
but
like you said, like when you were little, you weren't even allowed to watch it. Now it's a Disney thing. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
not only that, but like also on Hulu, they only have so Disney Plus has up until last season, and then Hulu has the newest season.
yeah, I was just watching the newest one on Hulu the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you watching the Treehouse of Terror?"
Heck yeah, those are the best episodes.
Yep, always.
Yeah.
Figures those would be the ones we like best, huh?
Yeah. All
All
the
right.
time.
Season 10, episode 22, 1999. Donut Shaped Universe. When celebrated cosmetologist Stephen cosmetologist. Oh, Cosmo Cosmo. How do
Because
you even say that word? I
cosmologists.
just Yes, thank you. Stephen Hawking made his first appearance on The Simpsons. The writers couldn't resist the opportunity to put the world's smartest man and the world's stupidest man in one room. Sharing discourse over beers at most taverns, Hawkins says, "Your theory of a donut shaped universe is intriguing. I may have to steal it." Though there has been a genuine theory that the universe is shaped like a donut, or torus, since the 80s, it has resurged in popularity in the new millennium. I had not ever heard that.
I hadn't either. I've never heard that it was shaped like a donut.
I'm gonna have to do some Googling there. But that's
Google.
interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean that I've never heard it, so it could go either way. Let's see.
Well, okay, what about this one? Season 11, Episode 5, 1999. Real tobacco plants. Now I remember this episode.
Oh,
When
I
Homer
remember
sets his
that.
eyes on agriculture, wacky disasters follow. Using nuclear ingredients from the power plant, Homer decides to create a mutant hybrid plant in the episode EIEI Dough. The result is the not so humble tobacco, a bizarre combination of the tomato and tobacco plant. The potential to make money from it drives a wedge between Homer and the rest of his family. Disturbing real life counterparts emerged around Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, where deformed vegetables and fruit popped up and looked unsettlingly similar to Homer's creation. While no one has thankfully tried to find a way to make money out of these monstrous mutations, it's not too far fetched to imagine less scary versions of these in grocery stores in the future.
Well, I mean they've already combined, okay. So outside of plants, you got the what is the liger, the lion tiger combination.
Mm-hmm.
You got a donkey and a horse to create a mule. I mean, there's already like genetically modified
Everything.
everything, and then you add plants to it. I mean, you have strawberries that taste like cotton candy.
Oh, the grapes. I love the cotton
Or
candy grapes.
no, yeah, what is the strawberries?
I have the strawberry. Antonio. I bought those too. I had bought the both of them at one time from Aldi. I
Yeah,
can't remember what the strawberry ones were, but they weren't very good. They
pineapples.
taste
They're
like
the pineapple
yeah,
strawberries.
yes, yes. They didn't ta I don't know if the ones I had just weren't ripe, but they were not very good. But I
Yeah,
love the cotton candy grapes.
yeah. They don't taste like cotton candy to me.
Oh, they're so good. I like
Yeah,
putting my grapes in the freezer. All right, so here's another good one. I saw quite a few of these.
yeah. We're gonna run long
Season
tonight.
All right. Season 11, episode 17, 2000, Trump presidency. The episode Bart to the Future premiered in 2000, where Bart Simpson saw his and his sister's future. The leader of the country was Lisa Simpson. Lisa mentioned that the United States was tasked with fixing the economy after former Donald Trump's presidency. Not only was Trump elected president in 2016, but one of the scenes from the show looked as if it were almost replicated in real life. In the same episode, a crowd of people watched as Donald Trump descended an escalator. It's a scene that now, among the Simpsons predictions, that came true. In reality, President Trump also descended the escalator with First Lady Melania Trump, while a group of supporters watched in the background.
I've
I never saw the Trump presidency thing come in, so I can't see that one being a guess.
I don't think anybody saw it coming, but also I think the elevator thing, I don't necessarily think that, or the escalator, I don't necessarily think that was a prediction, because I mean it could have happened anywhere.
Right.
But I think that the prediction of Trump was interesting. I think that was a prediction.
And we're going to revisit that one a little bit later.
Yeah.
All right. Season 13, episode 22, 2002, Selling Ferrets as Toy Poodles. One of the many schemes from Fat Tony, the authority on organized crime in Springfield, involves gluing cotton balls to ferrets to pass them off as toy poodles. In yet another instance of criminals taking their plans from television, an Argentinian man received a shock when he bought what he thought was a toy poodle, only to find out it was a groomed ferret. I think too many people are just
smoking
stuff and watching
like
Simpsons and getting really bad ideas.
Snatching up ideas. They're like, yes, I can
totally do this.
Because people don't do drugs and then watch.
Yes.
Don't do drugs and then watch The Simpsons.
Yeah, probably don't do that.
Yeah,
we don't recommend it.
We don't recommend drugs anyway, but don't do that and watch The Simpsons.
Season 15, episode 14, 2004, Matrix 4 premiere. The Simpsons prediction was easy to miss in the 2004 episode, The Ziff Who Came to Dinner. At the beginning of the episode, behind Homer Simpson is a movie poster that read, A Matrix Christmas, coming soon. The image presented Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, in a Christmas hat. The Matrix was released in 1999, while The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolution was released in 2003. It wouldn't be until 2021 that the next film in the Matrix franchise would be released. The Matrix Resurrections was released December 22nd in 2021 in the United States. While Neo was front and center on the poster, he unfortunately wasn't wearing a Christmas hat. I think that one's probably a quinky dink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you have because I mean, the first two movies really were very successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's bound to make it into a whole series.
Yeah, but I think they're more focused on that it came out around Christmas and then there's a Christmas poster. So I think that's what they were implying there.
Yeah.
All right, next one, season 16, episode 6, 2005, Legal Reeferino in Canada. The 2015 episode Midnight RX sees Ned tagging along with Homer and Grandpa's smuggling trips to Canada to get medicine for his own kids. I remember that one. Ned meets his Canadian counterpart and quickly learns that they're very different when he's offered a reeferino since it's legal in that country. 13 years later, in 2018, recreational marijuana became legal in Canada. While Ned likely won't be making any trips back with Abu, Homer, and Grandpa, it's good to know that he was at least at the center of one of the coolest things Simpsons predicted. So, legal pot in Canada, what do you think?
I'm for it.
Prediction or...
I'm for it, yes. No, I think it was probably a prediction. But what year did you say that one came out, or that episode?
It was released in 2005, and it became legal in 2018.
So,
I mean, that's a lot of years ahead.
Yeah, that's it. But I feel like from at least 2010 to 2000 to current, it's been a topic of discussion pretty much around the world.
Yeah, well, this is still 2005 though,
Yeah, that's true.
so
It's
it's kind of
probably a
pre.
prediction.
It's kind of hopeful thinking.
Well, no, I mean they have like I remember in high school because I lived in New York. Like when people would turn 19, they would go to Canada for their 19th birthday because
Really?
you can drink in Canada at 19.
Yeah.
So that's where they would have their 21st birthday that they would have here. They would have it
Right.
on their
Right.
19th birthday in Canada. But
So it's so funny.
that was before you needed a passport to walk across.
Everything's so different now with like everything. Because even think like so South Carolina is not one of the states that it's legal. Like you can't get a medical prescription for
Yeah.
it. You can't. But you can go to any of the smoke shops and get the stuff that had the Delta 8, Delta 9.
Yeah.
I mean, the point of it being illegal, if you could still go buy it.
Yeah, which the stuff that's at the vape shops and stuff is as my brother-in-law who works at a vape shop, he says it's legal weed. He says it doesn't have the chemicals as your standard stuff, but it's legal and it does the same thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, season 17, episode 10, 2006, A Submersible Disaster. A more recent prediction from The Simpsons became clear earlier this year when fans made the connection between the Titanic submersible disaster and the episode Homer's Paternity Coup. In the episode, Homer finds a man he thinks is his long lost father and agrees to venture into the depths of the ocean with him in an attempt to find an old ship. Disaster strikes and Homer gets stuck, but thankfully opens his eyes in a hospital a few days later. Last June, a real life submersible carrying 5 passengers toward the sunken Titanic unfortunately imploded. The expedition to see the wreck dominated conversations around the world, and the tragedy has raised crucial questions about safety regulations and protocols to prevent a similar event from happening again.
Yeah, that was probably a prediction. And you know
All
what's
right.
crazy is we would probably never know if these were predictions or just guesses.
Yeah, I know.
Because what if he
Or time traveled back and.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, no, that's
um,
definitely a prediction for sure.
So this one actually comes from the Simpsons movie in 2007. Tom Hanks endorses the US. In the Simpsons movie 2007, actor Tom Hanks made a cameo appearance during a commercial scene that the Simpsons were watching. During the commercial, a father took his 2 children to see the Grand Canyon, but his daughter was unimpressed by the landmark and requested for there to be a new Grand Canyon. Next, Hanks enters the scene, stating that the US government lost its credibility, so it's borrowing some of mine. In 2022, 1 year after President Joe Biden's presidency, Hanks appeared in the commercial stating that Americans' determination as they endured economic hardships caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The video focused on America's theme of rebuilding its economy and highlighting the successes of Biden's administration so far. So Tom Hanks basically did 2 political cameos, one real life, one in the
Well,
movie.
good for him. No, I don't know if that was a prediction or not. That's probably just a guess.
All right. Well, also from the movie, we have the NSA spying scandal. In
Ah,
2007, The Simpsons leaped to the big screen, which with its penchant for predictions intact. When Marge discussed her plan to out government secrets, we were taken to the headquarters of the National Security Agency. Inside, there is a room full of monitors with a whole staff listening to phone calls in the hopes of catching America's Most Wanted. It was
mm-hmm.
almost as if the real NSA were listening in on the film, and in 2013, Edward Snowden revealed to the public numerous secret surveillance programs that the agency was operating. What you got there?
Yes, that was okay. That could have been a prediction, but also could have been insider information. Like what? Oh, what if Matt Groening's just a whistleblower?
Mm-hmm.
And he like this is his subtle way of like getting it out there.
You don't think somebody would have tried taking him out already if that was the case?
Not necessarily because what if they don't like
Oh, they would know.
What if they don't like yes, they might know, but what if they're like nobody is going to believe him because this is a animated comedy show. But in reality, we
Interesting.
all believe him.
Well, let's keep going political. Season 20, Episode 4, 2008, Malfunction in Voter Machines. Treehouse of Horror seems to have predicted an electoral mishap related to former President Barack Obama. A brief moment depicts Homer voting for Obama in a booth, but his soon revealed to have been tallied as one for John McCain. A similar event would occur in 2012 with a viral YouTube video showing an incorrectly registered vote. Instead of the vote in both Pennsylvania, and instead of the vote in a booth in Pennsylvania being counter for Obama, it appears to have been tallied for Mitt Romney, sparking controversy among the public.
Yeah, that one was a good one.
And that's a big thing now. Nobody trusts voting anymore. They're so worried that everything's rigged.
Well, I mean, think about how it was done over COVID. People who
Mm-hmm.
were dead were voting.
Yeah, I was listening to, I don't know which true crime podcast it was, but it was actually a man in South Carolina who had killed his wife and he was voting for her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still an issue, and I think it's always going to be an issue, unfortunately, as we move forward. Because we have become such a politically charged country, one way or another. And so
Right.
people are always going to be at odds about it. And therefore, there's always going to be voting discrepancies. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I think that could have been a prediction, but I think it's definitely a problem moving
Yeah,
forward.
for sure. Season 21, Episode 12, 2010, the USA Curling Team. In 2010, the episode Boy Meets Curl premiered where Homer and Marge arrived at the skating arena only to see that it was closed to those practicing curling. They tried their hand at curling and eventually joined the U.S. curling mixed doubles team during the Winter Olympics. During the episode, the U.S. team won a gold medal and defeated Sweden. In 2018, the U.S. Olympics curling team, led by Josh Schuster, won their first gold medal for curling. The U.S. team also beat Sweden in the 2018 Olympic with a score of 10-7.
That's interesting. And it's another sports one, so it's probably a correct prediction simply because you can't really fake a sports prediction. But also on a side note, curling is my favorite thing to watch for the Winter
Is
Olympics.
it really?
Yeah. The
I think
way
I've only watched it on The Simpsons.
the way they sweep so fast is very fascinating.
That's how I feel about shag dancing. I think I could watch that for hours.
Shagging? Yeah.
Yep, the way that their feet move, it's like what you're saying with curling. Like I'm like mesmerized.
Yeah. They just get in there and just they just go really
I'm gonna have
fast.
a hard time reading the next one. And I should know it because it's a Swedish name. How do you think BENGT? Benched? Banged?
Bent. Damn. I'm not Swedish.
B.R. Holmstrom wins the Nobel Prize in Economics, Season 22, Episode 1, 2010. Fun fact, my maiden name is Holmstrom. Uh, the Simpsons is known for creating so-called freeze-frame gags, visual references that would go nearly unnoticed without a pause button at the ready. In season 22 premiere, Lisa and her group of friends have logged a prediction sheet for the Nobel Prize announcements. Though Milhouse would lose out on his prediction that Mr. Holmstrom would win in economics, everything would be coming up him in 2016 when Holmstrom ended up earning that honor.
Hmm.
Now, if they predicted somebody winning a Nobel Prize, like
Yeah.
unless that guy was like definitely up for it at some point. So that was 2010, and it comes his year in 2016. So 6 years later,
Yeah. Yeah, that one was a good one.
I'll take that as prediction.
Yeah, for sure.
Season 23, Episode 22, 2012, Lady Gaga in the Super Bowl. One of the Simpsons Super Bowl episodes included a prediction of a musical artist performance. In the 2012 episode, Lisa Goes Gaga. Lady Gaga visits Springfield and performed her songs while flying over an audience, and at one point played the piano during her concert. In 2017, Gaga performed at the Super Bowl Halftime show performing her greatest hits, including Poker Face and Bad Romance. During her halftime show performance, Gaga was lifted above the audience. Later in the show, she also played Million Reasons on the piano. So, did Lady Gaga make her show match The Simpsons, or was this a prediction?
It might be like a both type deal. Like when, because she guest starred on that episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so she guest starred on that episode, so she probably did make it to match.
She's like, I'm a fan. I'm gonna make this a prediction. I'm gonna make the prediction list.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna contribute to the predictions. So she
Okay.
probably did. Yeah, because she just seems like the type of person to do that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, not a prediction on that one.
All right. Season 25, episode 16. In 2014, FIFA's corruption scandal and World Cup results. The Simpsons' take on the World Cup involves Homer being brought into the world of refereeing, mainly due to the FIFA organization having a shortage from the massive corruption. Though he gets the temptation, he decides to call the big game fairly, leading to Germany winning the World Cup. The show enjoyed a 1-2 punch or kick of precognition. First, Germany did end up winning the title that same year, but what followed in 2015 was not as joyous, as the FIFA headquarters was raided by police amid accusations of bribery, fraud, and money laundering.
Huh. I don't know about this one because I don't watch soccer, but
That could be a little bit of a prediction. They seem to do good with the sports ones.
yeah, sports they seem to be pretty spot on.
So that was kind of like the main big list, but I tried doing a quick search of things that were predicted for 2023 and medium.com. They said these are some of the ones that they were predicting for 2023. A Chinese USA war. According to images shared by a Simpson fan TikTok account, there will be a war between China and US in 2023. I'm doubting that. We're pretty close to the end of the year, but who knows?
You know what's crazy though is I think every day we are a little bit closer to that, which is terrifying.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, in one part of that series, the newscaster said, I regret to inform you that a war has broken out between the US and China. A massive nuclear attack is expected to reach our shores within 1 hour. And I do not ever want to hear that.
Heck no.
Um, they also said,
Considering that I live in a cookie cutter neighborhood with a stick built house with no like real
on the
interior
coast,
on the
and it's,
coast
yeah.
with no real interior, I would just hope that it would be quick and painless. Just
They also have a new virus. In another post, a virus worse than the coronavirus will emerge. As a matter of fact, Homer, one of the characters of the program, is having a very difficult time due to this virus. They also have Trump's death. After the globalization of the virus, Donald Trump dies in March of 2023, which has passed, so no good there. However, according to the same program, US leader Donald Trump should have died in 2022, which is weird because we will discuss in a minute that his prediction for 2024 is president again. So they're playing around with him at this
yeah.
point. Travel to Mars. The Simpsons also have predictions for 2026 and 2050 about Mars. According to Top 5 Scariest Simpsons series published on YouTube, it's mentioned that humans will reach Mars. In season 27, episode 16, characters Marge and Lisa volunteer to be the first humans to live on Mars. The duo is sent to the Red Planet in 2026. So that'll be interesting to see if we got stuff going on. In real life, millionaire Elon Musk plans to spend SpaceX to Mars. He also wants to colonize Mars.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
he's got some stuff going on with The Simpsons here. Also for 2023, a zombie attack. Another future prophecy of The Simpsons includes zombies. Zombie attacks are seen in one series. Why do you look so excited about zombies?
Love it. I'm here for it.
Oh, goodness. I like to keep my brain in one piece. So real quick ones for 2024. There's mentions of predictions for U.S.-China tensions to continue. Trump 2024, a red herring, an economic crisis, subliminal messages. mass automation, a black hole, environment, virtual reality, and a robot takeover.
Nice.
I totally see that with all the AI stuff because, like you said,
Absolutely. Well, with the
it's
AI,
getting scary.
with AI and like there's been like I often think that like Hollywood has some insight, right? So like
Yeah,
think about like typically they'll have like all of these a lot of the theme like a lot of the movies that come out at one time will have a certain theme behind it. So
right.
like for a while there it was like you had the Terminator movies, then you had um iRobot with Will
Mhm.
Smith, and then you
Yeah.
had the movie AI,
Mhm.
so and then like you think about it, like for a while there it was zombie movies for a while. Like so I think that Hollywood has some sort of insight that they're like, this is our way to warn people what's coming,
Or did they cause it?
or they cause it. I mean, if it's the Illuminati, then they cause it.
Mhm.
But
Well, it was funny too. I was just saying, I was just reading on Instagram, Fox News had a thing that the Pope, hang on, I don't want to say this wrong, so let me just double check what it says. But I was like, what a turn! Something's wrong with the new Pope. The Vatican's really gonna get me.
they're like, she did a whole episode on the Vatican. She came to the Vatican.
Girl, I even went to Catholic school.
They're gonna come
What?
get you with their rulers.
So I just couldn't even believe this. Like, people overstep so much stuff now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how many posts a day do they have? I'm like scrolling and I don't even see a little picture. Well, so essentially what the ad was saying is that the Pope has declared it like a major sin to be you can't be a Freemason. It is against the Catholic Church to be a Freemason.
Which I mean,
You can't tell people what they can be part of.
right, but that goes back though to
Yeah, a lot of the stuff with the Illuminati and the
n-
Freemasons
well,
and
no,
anybody who's watching these
like
movies.
when the Freemasons started, it
But
was
I mean, essentially, Freemasons is a trade. That's like the church
exactly
saying you can't be in a union.
right.
Like,
I don't know. That's crazy.
I just think that's overstepping to like the max.
Yeah, like it's a sin to do XYZ. I
Uh
don't
huh.
know. I don't know. All I know is that Jesus forgives sins, so we have free will.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Catholics in Masonic associations are in a state of grave sin and may not receive Holy Communion.
But why? Why are they in a state of grave sin?
And if it's something that's just being said, let's see, the Vatican recently reaffirmed its prohibition on Catholics joining the Freemasons, a clandestine and ceremonial organization that boasts approximately 6 million global members. In a statement issued on Wednesday, signed by Pope Francis himself, the Vatican's doctrinal office cited the incongruity between Catholic teachings and Freemasonry as the basis for prohibition.
Huh.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Like, this man's lost his marbles. You can't do that.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
My
You
uncle's a Freemason. He's a very nice man.
you can't be part of a club. Well, I
Hmm.
mean,
And get and receive communion.
yeah. Well,
But I'm sure
those
maybe that will
crackers
be
are
the
those crackers are
next Simpsons
cardboard
prediction.
anyway. Oh
So
gosh.
what do you think? That's kind of what we got prediction for 2023 and 2024. You think we'll hit any of
Um,
those?
we might hit a couple actually.
We might hit a couple of those.
I hope not like super bad ones. Bring on the zombies. I'm here for it. Um,
Girl, you're crazy.
I'm here for it. I'll just board up my windows
Because that
and
worked so well in all the shows like Walking Dead because they didn't get busted in.
well, I don't really have any windows. Like I have windows in my bedroom and I have manageable windows. But I don't have any windows on the front of my house, which is fine.
Gotta
And
get a generator.
yeah, so I can go into my garage and cook food. I'm good.
No, I wouldn't survive. Like, I just think about, like, when you get, like, a hurricane or something, you lose power for a couple days, all I can think about is a hot shower. I would not survive.
Oh no, I'll be good. I like camping, so that'd be good.
Mm, no.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I think zombies would be good.
Oh, gosh. What about the robots taking over?
That's a little terrifying. I think
So you think you'd rather have a zombie than a robot?
okay, I'd rather have a Walking Dead zombie than an I Am Legend zombie or World War Z because I don't run. And if I have to run, you better be running too. But I know that I
What if
can
the robot runs faster than a zombie?
yeah. And
What
I
if the
know
robot runs?
I know that I have like if it's Walking Dead zombies, I know that I have a chance to get away. And I robots on the other hand, they are built to be very smart and know like basically they're like a giant chessboard. Like they're built to be like 5 steps ahead.
Right.
So I think they would be more terrifying. Plus they're like virtually indestructible. And if you get hit with one of those, you get slapped or something with a robot, then you're fucked. I mean,
Yeah. So the question is, I wonder how much more we'll kind of see happen with the Simpsons and their predictions or
yeah,
whatever they are.
right, right. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see for sure. I do love The Simpsons though. I love watching. My husband doesn't like it, but
No?
no, but like given the opportunity, like I usually will fall asleep. Um, I always fall asleep with my TV on, but I'll either fall asleep to The Simpsons, to Futurama, which is another one by Matt Groening, or American Dad or Family Guy.
Okay.
Like those are the
I
that's
can't go to sleep with stuff like that because then I don't want to go to sleep. I want to start watching.
yeah,
I have to go on stuff like that I've seen so many times or
yeah, that's I usually will start, I don't care how many times it is. I'll start the beginning of a season before I go to sleep and just let it
Mhm.
play until my timer goes
Yeah, I
off.
tried rewatching True Blood at one point, but I just went to watch it, so it wasn't working out for me.
I can't, that's when I can't fall asleep too. But I like True Blood. I just finished that one not long ago. Oh,
Did you, I tried, like I said, I tried watching it again, but
I'm
I don't know.
rewatching Ghost right now
Um,
in preparation for the third season coming out soon.
what's that on?
Paramount Plus.
I don't have that.
I think it's originally on like NBC or CBS, one of those two.
I just recently started trying to cut down some of my channels because I was getting bored with them. I guess with that strike, there's not really been anything coming out, so I have all these
Mm,
channels and I feel like I have nothing to watch.
yeah,
Although I'm watching a lot of paranormal stuff on we have Max,
yeah.
and Max has a lot of paranormal stuff now.
Does it now?
A
Huh?
lot. Like
Huh?
movies, TV shows, stuff I've never heard of. All that Bigfoot expedition is on there. Like
Really?
there's a ton of stuff.
Really? Hmm.
There's
Yeah.
one show that has paranormal hotspots across the US.
Oh,
I didn't start watching that one yet. I've been trying to add things to my cart of things I want to watch.
I've watched the new season of the Jack Osborne terror show.
I watched the first episode of that. I get sidetracked and I just jump around from all the different series to try to test them out.
Yeah. Huh.
But a lot of the ones that used to be on Travel Channel are on Max now or Discovery, like the Kindred Spirits and all those ones.
We need to
They're all
get
on
there.
Max now.
We'll get there. We're going to get there. We're going to be on all the streaming channels.
We can start YouTube. Nothing wrong with that. Lots of people do.
Heck yeah. So,
I mean, look up here.
yeah, definitely interested to see what comes from these predictions. But, yeah.
Like you said, hopefully nothing too terrifying this year.
Right, right. You got anything else on The Simpsons?
No, I think that's it. I think I talked your ear off long enough today.
And
That was
almost 2
hour
hours.
and 41 minutes.
But y'all let us know what you think. Do you believe these predictions are predictions? Do you think that Matt Groening, the awesome creator that he is, actually predicted these things to these
Is he
outcomes?
dreaming them? Is he a space traveler?
Or a time traveler? Has he been to Mars? Let us know what you think. And until next time, y'all come back now, you hear?